to figure out what video to make tonight. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know, every figure I want to open, I have to go and pull out the other figures in the line and show the comparison and everything else. I'm like, you know, I just am not feeling up for doing that. I thought I have these helmets sitting here. They've already been clear coated. They are ready for hand painting. And it's like, I should just do that. So many people have asked me to finish my helmets. And it's like, maybe I should just do a video while I'm painting them. 2 birds, 1 stone. So here we go. So I'm going to be painting some helmets tonight. And it's like, maybe. So I do have my comments up so I can see what you guys say. Hey, Jamie, thanks for joining us. And it's funny, like in the past, I don't know, 2-3 months, I've had more requests for these helmets than I have anything else. I've just been slacking. So for those that don't know what the helmet is for Panthor, it is this, oops, no, too bad, don't fall over. It is this helmet right here that I have made to fit onto Origins, and I paint them, and they look pretty cool. And then to keep them on, they require 3 pieces of poster putty, which is why it's probably not good for the ones that have the fuzz all over them, the flocking. But I have people say they've used it for their flocked ones before. I personally wouldn't put it on a flocked one, but there you go. That's how they look when they're done. So to get this to work, here's the colors I use. My wife actually found this one for me. This is what I use for the main base of the helmet, and I have it marked helmet so I don't forget which one it is. And then after that, I follow up with this green ink that I used a bunch of to do this. You know what? I need to grab one more of these cups. I'll be right back while I grab one. I need to grab enough ink cups. Extras just in case.
No.
Okay, I'm back. Went ahead and just grabbed a bunch of paint cups and lids so I have them in case I need them. So let's see who's on here. The Bird, thanks for joining us. The Bird. Mike Fee, thanks for being here. Unicron, thanks for joining us. Leon, thanks for being here. Nice, Mike. Yeah, they are really cool helmets. I don't know why Mattel didn't make them in the first place for the newer figures, but he looks weird without the helmet on now that I've seen him put the helmet on. You know what? You're going to the box. To the box with you, too bad. No, not the box. I was trying to figure out how to get all his weapons on here, and the only thing I could tell was to take his shield and just kind of stick it on his back like that. And my wife is so amazing. Today, she went figure hunting for me and found these 2 for me, which was cool. I think she found them at Target. And then she also got me another Mechanic. So after I alter my one Mechanic, I'll have one that's unaltered when I add that remote control car to it. And we'll take a look at that car later on. It's charging right now. I'll pull it off the charger and show you guys how it works. I didn't actually alter the Road Ripper yet, just charging the car. So I still have to alter that. Anyway, let's get back to painting. And feel free to ask questions. You know, just whatever you want. I can answer them while I'm sitting here painting. So again, this is the color for the helmet, in case you guys want to see what the base color is. Let me zoom in on there. And what's crazy about this is you can see this green does not match exactly with the armor on his saddle, but it's pretty close. And the weird thing is these helmets start out blue. So it's the mix of the green with the blue seen through. Now, when I first did these helmets originally, I actually just tried painting them green, and I did not put the undercoat on there. And it looks really weird when you put it on the cat's head because you can see the purple through the helmet then. And so I started putting a base coat underneath. And at first I used spray paint, and I would spray the spray paint, but I couldn't find the right color, so I found 2 colors I had to spray at the exact same time, and then it would kind of work. And so my first helmets were those 2 colors mixed together. And then as time went by, like I said, my wife found this, and it's like, this works really good. So what I like to do is put some paint in a little cup here. Hopefully it's not all dried out, or this video might be really short. Oh, there we go. And it's a rather thick kind of paint. You can see that. And I like to use a brush that has pretty soft bristles. Otherwise, you end up brushing it back off while you're trying to put it on. Now, I don't know how it's going to work for drying time. Normally, I let them sit for a while and dry between each one. I'm hoping that, being I have 6 of these, hopefully the first one will be dry so I can go back and put a second coat on. It usually takes between 3 to 5 coats to coat these correctly. Now, I may get out of camera frame when I'm doing this because I have to look around my camera to see what I'm doing. You know, I'm going to turn the light on too so you guys can see better. Let's see how charged my light is. Oh, it's actually charged. No way. Ta-da! There we go. Now my light is actually charged. That will help. All right, now this first coat just basically goes on the bottom of this. I'll try to zoom in a little bit, and hopefully I don't get out of frame. And basically I just brush it on really thin, and I just know I need a lot of coverage, so I'll be putting this on a lot. So this first coat is just a coat just to have it so that the next coat will stick to it. And you don't want any gloops or glops. You want to be really careful just to put it on nice and thin. And normally I'd hold it up to the light and I'd see that it looks pretty even and thin throughout. And again, this first coat's made to be really thin, just so the other paint will adhere to it. And you want to get rid of any extra globbing and try to get it as smooth as you can. Now this is in case you end up buying the unpainted helmets from me. I'm going to have a couple unpainted helmets for sale too. And the first step is to put clear coat on it, which I sprayed on probably about a month ago now. It allows the paint to adhere better, and then it also makes it so it smooths it out a little bit. All right, there's my first coat on my first one. And you can see, oops, stuck my finger right in front of the lens. And you can see just how see-through that still is. So that is my goal at first, is to get that first layer. Oop. There we go. Let's go into the second one. Let me take a look at your guys' comments. Yep, I'm going to throw them on eBay. Sorry, man, that's where I stick them. It's the easiest way to do it. How long did I go on eBay? I'm hoping these will be on there this weekend. I like to put things on Thursday and run them 10 days and have them end on Sunday. So we'll see if I can do that with these or not. Hey, thanks, Dorky Hippie. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just, it's the craziest thing. I don't know what's going on, but I have been sleeping so much. I've just not had time to do all the painting I want to do. And even now, I ended up taking a nap today, right after work. And I didn't wake up till about an hour ago. And it's like, holy cow. I know I can't get nothing done. I'm always sleeping all the time. But I know people are waiting for painted parts. And it's so easy to take parts off the printer and mail them to people and not paint them. So I've already sent all the unpainted parts to people. So if you have an unpainted part you're waiting for from me from the wait list for floors and you haven't got it yet, let me know, because I thought I sent all the unpainted ones already. The painted ones, though, I'm kind of slacking on. And again, I have 4 sets painting right now downstairs in the garage. But we will get those done, hopefully not too much longer. All right, on to the next one. If you don't put it on thin enough, then it won't dry very quick, and then you're stuck having to wait for it to dry, and it makes more of a mess. Again, just make the coat super thin. And this thin coat will make it so your next coat can be thicker and it will stick to it really good. So don't try to get it all gooped on at once, because it will not work. This one's probably a little bit too thick from what I like. I wonder if it's just the winter blues that I'm going through. And a lot of people do that when it's not sunny out. They kind of go through this no sunshine depression. This is why they call it the blues. That's why they call it the blues, man. When it's raining out, dreary. It's Todd Ross in his painting. Paint the happy little mountains. All right, let's take a look at your guys' comments. Let's see. Shisha Pro said, "Can I order some in advance?" I'm only going to have 6 of these that are painted and 3 that are not painted, so I'm not going to order any in advance. I'm just going to throw them on eBay. I know there's more than 6 people that want them, so sorry. I know it's going to be kind of a stinky thing for people to find on eBay. I just haven't had time to get to making them. I wanted to make a bunch because I know everybody wanted them. I just have been slacking. So, but I will probably put the majority of them on this Thursday. I'll probably have a lot of them for a buy it now, and a few of them that will have a bid starting at $1. I think I'll probably put 3 on for buy it nows, and then the other 3 I'll probably just start them as auctions for starting at $1 a piece. I used to do the pre-order thing, but being I have so few, and I'm not going to make any more for a while. I just been so busy with the floors. And I know it stinks. I hate going on eBay and fighting for stuff. Just the other day, just last night actually, I just got a Headless Horseman on eBay. Now obviously the guy hasn't mailed it yet because the post office was closed today because of Martin Luther King Day. And so earlier in the week I offered the guy, you know, they had a offer thing you could click on instead of bidding on it. And so I offered him $19 less than his full price bid, and he didn't even reply back. Nothing. Well, I ended up being the only bidder on it, and the shipping was outrageous. But because I live close to the guy, I got a lot cheaper shipping than it would have been if I lived like in New York or something. And so he definitely padded the shipping, and I'm hoping he doesn't cancel the order on me because he wanted more money for it, which would really stink. Because if somebody on the East Coast would have bid on it, he would have got a whole lot more money, like about 80 more bucks, because the shipping prices were probably based on the wrong weight of the object. But even though I paid for it that way, I paid about the same comparable price after paying for all the shipping and the actual price of the product that you would pay for one that's also on there for the same price with free shipping. So I think it's a pretty fair deal. But I'm hoping to get that Headless Horseman because I want the horse for my bad guy for Rio Blast. So that'd be cool. Let's see. Music Fan 88 says, if you did that, I'd be red in the end, laughing out loud. Yep, for sure. Hey, bro, I'd like to be able to get a painted Cringer head from you one day. I'm sorry, man. I even have some heads even printed. I just haven't got around to painting. My wife even bought me a set of green paints just for painting the Cringer heads. And there they sit. The paints have not been opened yet. The Cringer heads are still sitting waiting to be painted. And it's just, I keep telling my wife I need to quit my job or retire or something so I can just focus on doing fun stuff like making stuff for He-Man figures. She doesn't see it the same way I do, though. She's like, let's see, if you quit your job, how do you afford to live? You know, that's a good point. That is a really good point. But I can't make nearly as much making helmets and floors as I do with a real job. I mean, it'll be a good retirement job after I retire, but I have to wait till I am able to retire. Now, if my YouTube channel took off, oh yeah, I would be leaving my job and doing this full time. Because then the YouTube channel would then supplement. But until that happens, I have to stick with my job. All right. So the first thing is on. Let's take a look at guys' comments while these dry. Let's see. Rage says, when do they go all in on sale? I'm hoping to put them on this Thursday. Like I said before, I'll probably have 3 of them as buy it now and 3 of them as starting bid $1 auctions. And then I'll have 3 of them that are unpainted. And I'll probably put 2 of those as buy it nows, and the other one will probably be as a $1 auction too. So we'll just see how it goes. I was hoping to make a lot more of these. Like I said, it's just I got too many irons in the fire, too many little projects on the side. And it's funny because you start doing all these little projects, and I have project boxes off to the side on my shelf, and I got all these project boxes of things that are half done, and it's like, oh, I just need more time in the day. Of course, we all do, right? I mean, you sit around, you're like, if I just had more time. That's looking pretty good. Look at that. Now, what I like to do, as you can tell, is like to dry brush over it like this. And that makes it so you don't have the paint brush marks. You've probably seen people's customs where it's got a ton of paintbrush marks all over it. By just doing this little thing as it dries a little bit, it keeps the paint brush marks off. I learned that technique from my stepdad. He used to be a car dealer, or not car dealer, car detailer. And he was actually the best in our state. And it was so cool because people would come to him from all over to get their cars detailed. And he had one forte that was amazing, and that was he would have no buffer marks. And the way he would do the no buffer marks is right after he buffed the car with the power buffer, he would go over it with a dry rag, and he would actually take out the buffer marks before the wax had a chance to sit completely. And I thought to myself later on, that's a cool technique. And so that's what I do with the paintbrush. The same thing I learned from him when he used to do the no buffer marks. I think the coolest thing when I was a kid, in our backyard, we had a really famous car in our backyard. And I was sworn to secrecy. I couldn't tell anybody, and it was killing me. And this car was iconic. And later on, I got to go to the auto show and meet the famous actor that drove the car in the TV show. And it was the coolest thing that he got to be the one to detail the car. And like I said, it was just killing me not to bring all my friends over to see this famous car from a 60s TV series. And it was so cool. Anyway, that was probably in the late 70s. I think it was like 79 or something, maybe 80, 1980, somewhere between those two. But it was just killing me. Even now, I can't even tell you guys the car. It was such a secretive thing. So all I get to hear is the story of a cool car. A cool car. You're thinking to yourself, was it Knight Rider? No, Knight Rider was in the 80s. This was before the 80s. And if you do guess, I can't tell you if you're right or not anyway. So how stinky is that? My wife knows what car it is, though, because I've told her the story way too many times and sworn her to secrecy. There we go. It looks beautiful. Let's take a look. No, I'll tell you this. It was not the General Lee, because the General Lee was not in the 60s. But that would have been cool to have the Dukes of Hazzard car in my yard. But no. It was so much more iconic than that. But I can't answer anymore. All right. I got a pretty small amount of people on here, right? It has only 29. So I guess I'll have you guys guess. What the heck? Why is it a secret? I don't know why. I just know at the time I wasn't allowed to tell anybody. And, but I suppose I'll give you guys a hint. It was a TV series in the 60s. They did make some movies using the same car as well. And every kid would love to see this car. Most adults would too. It was not the Love Bug. It was not the Green Hornet. It was not Dragnet. Oh, the Munsters would be cool. No, it was not the Munsters. Now, the driver never came to our house. I had to actually go to the auto show to see the driver. Oh, Mike Fee. Yes, it was the Batmobile. Yes. And man, it was just killing me not to tell my friends. You guys are the first people I've ever told, besides close family or my wife. See, you guys get the lucky secrets. And then, yes, I got to go meet Adam West later on that day. Yeah, well, he was the one that got to detail the car. It was pretty cool. That was really the only famous car he ever detailed. It was just one time, but man, I tell you what, it had some pretty cool memories. No, I didn't get to sit in it. Nothing cool like that. I wasn't allowed to touch it. Get away from that car. Okay. Yeah. But I so wanted to show all my friends and have them come over. I'd have been the coolest kid in the neighborhood. But nobody got to see it. Couldn't tell anybody about it. And I'm not sure why all the secrecy around it. I don't know what the deal was, but they didn't want people all hoarding around it or something. I don't know. All right. Let's smooth this one out. All right, see you guys' comments. No, Gary, you still get major points. Yeah, now talking to some people on the internet. Of course, you never know. I mean, you're like, who is this strange guy on the internet? I could be making up the whole thing just so I could paint these parts in front of you. So really, you'll never really know the truth. But that way I can claim maybe not. So it's still kind of a secret, right? But yeah, it was really cool. Yeah. So now I'm on my third coat. And at this point, I'm going to start checking it in the light and seeing how it looks. You want just a little light shining through it, but not a lot. So let me go ahead and hold this up to the light. Now that I'm working on coat number 3. That's looking pretty good. See, it's not much light's going through it. That's what we're looking for. You know what'd be funny? My wife can hear me or not in the other room. She's probably like, no way. He told somebody the secret of the Batmobile. Yeah, my stepdad, he was the coolest guy. He, when I grew up, he always wanted or I always wanted a dad. Growing up, one of those kids, and he always wanted a son. He had daughters. And so when my mom got married, it was the coolest thing. It was like father-son match made in heaven. It was awesome. And we used to watch The Incredible Hulk together, and he was kind of a larger man on the top, and he used to take and flex and bust the buttons off his shirt. My mom would get ticked because she had to sew them back on. But it was pretty funny. And he was a pretty cool guy. All right, let's look at your guys' comments. Who are we going to tell? Great stuff. All right, these are all coming together pretty nice. Now after I paint all these up, I'm going to use a bunch of clear coats on it. And I use the crystal clear coat, and it just makes it just pop. Especially the clear once you put it on. It looks really cool. And so you can see the color, even though it's blue, once I add all the green on top, it's just going to make it match. Well, it's going to look just like that other helmet. All right. So again, remember the technique is when you're painting, always go over your brush strokes to get rid of the brush marks, and your paints will always look good. I've had people tell me before that hand painting is my strong suit. This looks almost airbrushed when I'm done by doing this technique, because it just gets rid of all those brush marks. It just makes it look really clean. And you've seen customs before, people don't do this. Now another technique people use a lot of times is just using a bunch of little thin coats, and that does the same kind of thing, but then of course it takes a whole lot longer. Hey Jinx Caliber, thanks for joining us. Just painting helmets because everyone keeps asking for it and I just don't have time, and so I figured I'm gonna make a video tonight. I might as well do two things at once, make a video and get some helmets painted at the same time. See, you guys are helping me get this task done so people can get some helmets. And like I said, it's like my biggest request I get all the time. People, hey, when are you getting more helmets? I got them sitting on my shelf getting ready to paint it. Getting ready to be painted. It's like working on these floors over here. I'm still have to put the finishes on those. Then I'll finish the video and make it a premiere so you guys can see how I painted the arch support and the upper wall or upper floor. There we go. That's looking pretty good. So we got 3 coats on them now. I'm thinking they're looking pretty good at this point. So let's take a look in the light in these. Yeah, that one's looking good. That one's looking pretty good. That one's looking pretty good. Yep, pretty good. It's like 3 coats is a trick this time. Like I said, sometimes I have to do as many as 5 coats, but it's looking nice. I think I got them all. I might just put a 4th coat on just for measure, just to make sure I'm not missing anything, because I really can't go back after the clear coats are on and add more. Let's look at you guys' comments while I'm waiting. Let's see, Gnomski, I saw on Facebook someone found a new Eternia He-Man at Target. So they started to trickle out. Nice. Have an excellent evening, Todd. Always enjoyable to watch you at work, but I got to turn in. That's okay, Gary. If you're still on here, thanks for joining me. All right, on to the 4th coat, probably the final coat. You know, these are not quite dry yet. I'm going to have to wait a little longer. Let me go wash out my paintbrush while you guys are waiting, and maybe we'll do something else before I add that final coat on. All right, I got the remote control car. It should be done charging. Let's have some fun with it. We're waiting for that final coat to dry before we add this coat before we add the final coat. Let's go ahead and set this aside for right now. You know what? I can just put the lid on the paint too. This way I can still use it in a little bit and not have it get too thick on me. All right, let's check out this car that soon is going to be the motor for the Road Ripper, Ground Ripper. So the idea was to replace these wheels and pieces with this car right here. I talked about it last night for those that weren't here. And so let's give this a shot and see how this little car works. Now it's supposed to be pretty fast. So let's see, let's turn this on. Boop. And let's turn this on somehow. Okay. Whoa. That is fast, fast. Oh! Okay, Skeletor, you gotta scoot aside. I want to see if this car can push this around. I don't have a lot of room here, but if it's too gutless to push it, it's obviously not going to work. So it needs that extra weight. You know what? I need to find a figure to throw in there. No! Too bad, you're in the way all the time. Mechanic. It's kind of funny. His name sounds like mechanic almost. Mechanic. I'm surprised they didn't make him an Eternium mechanic. You know, with a name like that. Okay. Let's see if the car has enough power to push the Oop. I hope I went the right direction. There we go. The number goes in front. I should do is tape that on there. See if it has enough oomph. Where is my poster tack? Poster tack. I got a bunch of it here. Let's see. Dorky Hippie says my Target has Too Bad, Roboto, and Frosta today. Nice. Center of gravity. There we go. Is this car going to be powerful enough to push all that extra weight? Oh, easily. Well, that is going to be cool. I wanted to test this before I carved it all out to find out it doesn't have enough oomph to do it. And it definitely has enough oomph to carry all that weight. So that will be cool. Oh, let's see if I can climb up the castle. Ooh! Let's see if I can climb up that wall. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh! Well, that's good to know the car has enough power to climb with this extra weight on there. So hopefully once I install it into the Road Gripper, it should work just fine. That would be cool. Yeah. I'm gonna tell George Barris. All right, so let me go ahead and let's bring our parts back up. This should be just about dry by now. And let's put on that fourth coat. Beast man, what are you doing? Supposed to be getting kicked in the head. You can't flail around. Oh. All right, got the remote control car off. Got the paint back up here. There we go. It's looking a lot better for dryness. Beast man is being bad beast. Is my light still charged? Wow, my light's still charged. Unbelievable. All right, so my other paintbrush is kaput, so time to grab a new one. Which one do I want to use? I really like that paintbrush I had. I guess I'll go with this one here. This one will have to work. This will have to do the trick. Yeah, this brush is not as good as the last one. Nice. And again, same thing. You got to keep doing it until you get rid of all the brush marks. You want it to look as factory complete looking as you possibly can. Now, of course, you're doing it for yourself. It's not really that big of a difference, but if you're going to sell them to people, you know, you obviously want things to look as good as you can. That's why it kills me to sell the raw parts to people. I hate selling parts that are incomplete, but it's just too much time and effort to paint them all and resin coat stuff all the time. So I ended up breaking down and selling raw parts just so I can get them out to people. People like it too because then they can get a lower price too, because I don't sell the raw parts for really that much in comparison to the painted parts. So have you guys seen that Knives Out glass onion yet? It's kind of interesting. I kept waiting for Ed Norton to turn into the Hulk or something. All right. That's looking pretty good. So this will be my final coat. The final coat. Yep. I'll check out your guys' comments once I finish this last coat, so it is time to dry while I'm looking at all the comments. kind of funny today. I was talking to this lady on the phone and I was trying to sound smart and it just did not go good. She was way smarter than me and she corrected everything I said wrong. And it's like, lady, just trying to hold a conversation. It was pretty funny. Yep. Open mouth, insert foot. That was my day today. And the crazy part was, at the beginning of the conversation, she acted like she didn't know anything about anything. I felt almost like I was entrapped. Like she was just waiting for me to say some stupid stuff so she could correct me afterwards. It's like, really? 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 All right. This is looking pretty good. All right. Hooray. All right, let's get some of your guys' comments. I hate days like that, says Mike. I only saw the first 20 minutes or so about, I must be about the glass onion. I've seen the first one. Someone said the first one. I told someone that too. Was there more than one? Is there, someone told me there's one called like just Knives Out and then Glass Onion Knives Out or something. I'm not sure. I've just seen the Glass Onion one. Flash. Ronald, you don't have to explain yourself, man. I don't know what you mean by Flash. The TV show, the series. Yes, Knives Out is the first. Is it on? It must be on Netflix as well, right? Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm going to go wash my paintbrushes and get all yucky. I'm not going to. It's funny, I went to go wash my brush out and my wife was in the bathroom too. It's like, all right. So let's go ahead and start putting on our clear green. This is the fun part. Let's look at your guys' final comments. Let's see. William says, I'm looking to build a custom Grayskull castle based on the mini castle that costs a fortune. Shows all 4 sides. I'm looking at a full 5 floors, roof, and dungeon. Oh, wow. That sounds cool. Make sure you join the lounge if you haven't joined already, and put your pictures on there and your in work files. Let's see. I got something like that. Oh, where did I stick it? Oh well, I had a small blue one I used to always show that had all 4 sides. It's clear blue. It's kind of cool. I don't know where I placed it now. Misplaced items. I probably spend more time looking for misplaced items than anything else, it seems like. Whoa. Okay, I put a lot more in here than I usually want to. Usually I just put a drop or two, but it kind of squirted in there, so hopefully it doesn't go on too thick. And I'm going to use a little bit larger brush for this. And I'm going to use the same kind of technique where you just lightly put it on. And the worst part about it is when I'm done, I always end up with green fingers. That's the worst part about it. But if you're a Hulk fan, right, no big deal. So let's go ahead. And I don't want to put any on the bottom. So I'm going to be careful on not getting on the bottom. If I do, it's not that big of a deal. But so I usually start with the horn on this side. Just kind of paint it on. And it's crazy to think that this green can overpower the blue. But you know, green is made from blue and yellow. So it makes sense that it can overpower. Or blue could not overpower green, but green can overpower blue. Then I do the mask part. get it all on there. Yeah, it's not really that hard to paint these. It's just more time consuming than anything else. And again, just like with your other paint, you just want to keep scrubbing it on. And you can see the difference between the two horns now. One's got the green and one has the blue. And here's where I end up getting my fingers all green. If I was smart, I would learn from my mistakes and put gloves on. But no. Of course, the gloves make it kind of hard to paint anyway when you have them on. Make sure you get all the bubbles out. Now, if you do not put the clear coat on first, this paint will not stick to this. It will just slide all over the print, make a huge mess. So if you're buying unpainted ones from me, first use 400 grit sandpaper. Then after use 400 grit sandpaper, wet sand it, and then put a clear coat on it, and then your paint will adhere to that clear coat. Well, that looks really good. It's just amazing how much those clear colors can do such an amazing job on finishing stuff. Oh, that looks beautiful. See, look at the difference in the coloring now that you can see the green on there. It's just crazy how much different they look. What do you always say after flash? Flash flood, flash dance. What am I missing? Cheese? No. I think it's on Netflix or Prime Video. It's just called Knives Out. I'll check that out so I can find it. Ronald, you're gonna have to fill me in, man. I don't know what you say after flash. Sorry, man. I'm not picking up what you're laying down. Okay, on to the next one. Like I said, then afterwards, off camera, I'm going to take and put a crystal clear coat on it, and it just makes it look so cool after you do that. Oh, okay. I hear you coming now. Flash. Dun, dun. He said every one of us. Yes. I should have known. So I take it my camera went by the flash figure I have up there. That's funny. Flash Gordon. My poor wife. I cannot believe she made it through the whole movie. And my wife is not a sci-fi fan at all. And for her to watch Flash Gordon with me, that was like a real surprise. But she made it all the way through. I know you'd think I would have picked He-Man or something if I was going to torture her with some poor movie. But Flash Gordon was such a huge influence in my life when I was a kid. That 80s movie with the Queen music, and yeah, that was pretty cool. All right, 2 done. Look at that. Click at that. King Panthor, I'm glad you asked. I'm actually not going to sell them outright just because I have so few of them, and I know a lot of people want them. So I'm going to stick them on eBay. I'm going to have 3 of them as a buy it now. I forget the price I normally charge for these. It's in my Word. Oops. My battery's dying. I'm going to stick them on eBay. 3 of them will be buy it nows, and 3 of them will be starting bid for $1. And then I'll also have 3 that are unpainted, and 2 will be buy it nows, and the last one will be bid starting at $1. So I know it kind of stinks that I am going to stick them on an auction because I personally don't like to do auctions myself unless I'm sniping them. So yeah, I totally get the frustration with that. I wish I would have made more because so many people want these, and I know that I didn't make nearly enough. It's just I got so many other irons in the fire right now, so I'm not really making a bunch of these. I've had these ones sitting for months just waiting to get the final paint on it. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, I decided to paint them today in the video because I was going to make a video anyway, and I needed to paint them. So I figured I would do two things at once and get them ready. I'll probably put them on Thursday. That's when I usually try to put auctions on and run it for 10 days. Of course, to buy it nows won't end in 10 days. They'll end when they're purchased. But the dollar ones will run 10 days. And I'll put a link here. I'll probably make a video letting you know when they're when they're live. So if you subscribe to this channel, you'll see that video and you will know when to go. And either bid or buy. Again, I'm really sorry. I know more than 6 of you guys want these helmets, and only having 6 kind of stinks. I just am running out of time. See, my fingers are slowly turning green more and more as I do these. Yeah, I think, and don't quote me on the price, but I think the unpainted ones I usually sell for $20 a piece. And I think the painted ones I usually sell for like $34. I can't remember. Again, I have it in my Word document that I have set aside because I always forget what I charge for stuff. And it's funny is I'm not the best guy at money. In fact, if it was left up to me, I would lose money all the time. But my wife, she is the financial wizard, and so a lot of times we'll sit down together and figure out what prices for things should be. And she'll remind me I got to remember factors of wear and tear on the machine and parts of how much the stuff costs to produce and everything else. And so it's funny. My wife's the good one at that stuff, and so she makes sure that I don't underbid myself, because I used to underbid myself all the time on prices, and I would end up, which was cool for everybody else, you know, but she'd be like, wait a minute, why are you doing all this and not really making any money? It's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So she's the financial wizard of the bunch. She's a wizard, Harry. And so she helps me decide the price points. And like I said, I already have it in a Word document. I just didn't look it up before the video. Oh, that looks really cool. It's funny. One time I ran out of these, and this guy kept asking me for months for one. I felt bad because I just couldn't get around to making one. So finally I took my last one, and I just took it off my cat and sold it to him so he could have one. Actually, I did that also with my what is her name? She's the lady that wears the red. It looks like a Scarlet Witch kind of from the Horde. How could I forget her name? Now I'm drawing a blank. Catra. I had a Catra cat figure that I made with armor. And this guy's like, yeah, my daughter really loves Catra and loves the cat form. And I felt really bad, and I wasn't making any right now. So I took the one I had on my cat, pulled it off, and sold it to him. And I had to go back and make one for myself eventually. Oh. Now with these, you never want to go over them after they dry. If they do, you'll turn them super dark green and it will not match. So you got to do it all at one time. That's why I don't paint half and then go back and paint the other half. Because if I did that, you'd have a line down the middle of 2 shades of green. So you have to do the whole helmet in one painting, which sometimes it's kind of hard to keep the whole thing wet the whole time while you're touching it, and then making sure you don't leave a lot of fingerprint marks on it. So It is kind of a crazy kind of task thing to do. Or otherwise, like I said, it would just end up with a mess. I know from experience because I have messed up helmets before by doing the half and half paint job on them. One left. See, more green. Let's see, King Panthor's running out of time. I like the great song from the 60s from The Outsiders. Mike Fee, like and subscribe and hit the bell and go to notifications on new videos and get great customs. Hey, Mike, thanks. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this last one, and then I'll end the video because my battery's dying. Yeah, thanks for joining me, you guys. I know that this is pretty boring watching paint dry, but yeah, hopefully someday I can make more again. And it's not that it's that difficult. Like I said, it's just more time constraints. Oh. I gotta repaint that side now. I got a bunch on my finger. I could feel it. I could feel the wetness. That sounds bad. And you know what's funny? It's kind of messed up. I used to really enjoy painting these. I'd sit around and just paint, but it's starting to become a job now, and it's like, man, that stinks. So I may be cutting back a little bit once I finish my wait lists and just more doing single customs, going back to what I enjoy. I don't know. We'll see. And again, it's probably just because the sun's not out. I think once the summer hits, I'll feel a lot better, and then I'll probably make all kinds of cool customs. This last one's getting me. There we go. Oh yeah, that looks great. All right, there we go. We have 6 helmets painted. I got my fingers all green. Time to finish washing my paintbrushes. Let's look at your guys' final comments. And let's see. So my eBay account is Hebrew. And the links, like Mike said, in the description here. And right now I don't have anything up for sale on eBay. And Mike says it's calming. Buccaneers lost to the Cowboys. Oh. Let's see. King Panthor said, I need a special request, Hebrew. Can you do one that matches the colors for my duplicate? Leo Faker, please. It would look amazing. So King Panthor, contact me on Facebook. The link's in the description. Maybe we can talk. So we can see. All right. Anyway, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Once this all dries, I'll put my clear coats on them, and then hopefully I'll have them up for sale on Thursday. And that is all that I got. Now I got to find a way to touch my phone with my green fingers without getting green on the screen. Let's see, get this light off first. Oh, no way. 6 feet tall. 4 by 4 by 4. That would be so cool. William, I'm really looking forward to seeing your Castle Grayskull. Please post in-work pictures on the lounge. The link to the lounge is also in the description, so check that out as well. All right, good journey, you guys. Until next time, and feel free to check out my other videos in the past. And that's all I got. Bye now.